marched in with no warning. Envoy! What does the Garrote think they're doing? It's an outrage. What did the artisans or merchants do to them? I took my notes and bolted when they came through Hightown. They didn't think I was worth the trouble.
Right now, that's a good thing.
If you're looking for survivors, a few of us fled to the Balrog.
How many?
I'm not sure. I saw Sapiento. God, I hope they're not trapped in there. I am sorry I can't be more help. On the very first page.
We should move. Let's hope the Garrote hasn't made it to the Balrog yet.
Envoy, wait! Before you go, I may have something for you. I took some supplies when I ran. If you think they'll help, they're yours. I'll even give you a discount. You know, for saving the city and everything.
Why is there snow here?
That's gotta be Ringgrim's work. I heard she made it snow in Shatterscarp. This is the end. We're all going to die.
A familiar face. We meet again, Envoy. Paradise burns. Thanks to Ludwine and the Steel Garrote laying siege to it. But the Dream Scourge is gone.
It wouldn't be the first time she's come back.
It's remarkable how hard you mortals fight for causes that'll be forgotten within centuries. Still, I do think the world has been irrevocably, if minimally, changed by your actions. Perhaps. A new god being set loose on the world is certain to have consequences. Mostly, I'm curious about whether you think you've made the right choice. Ah, that mortal zeal. Always so fun. We will see if you're correct. I am interested in seeing the outcome of your story, Envoy. With luck, it won't end with you also on fire. Mortal comforts are so very adorable. All you desire are your base needs lavishly fulfilled. Goodbye, Envoy. And Yardsley, I do look forward to when all of this is done. I am eager to work with you.
Oh, yes. We'll, discuss that later. No pressure, Envoy. Just the fate of everyone, right in your hands.
Envoy, how good to see you here as we stand together at the brink of this historic event. I don't know if thank you is precisely what I want to say, but I am grateful to you for bringing Dolna's theft to light. Paradise burns from the torches of the Steel Garrote. The people of the Living Lands stand ready to defend their home. Yes. What happens in Paradise now will decide the fate of the Parkrunen after all.
What's the plan if Paradise falls?
We will find a way to persevere. We Bargrunen have a gift for surviving inhospitable conditions, and always have. Whatever the outcome of the upcoming battle, do not forget us. I fear that more than our deaths. If Edir and the Steel Garrote have their way, they'll strip the history books of any mention of our culture and our ways. Future generations will only ever know us as an appendage of the Empire. I hope it doesn't come to that. It is all I can ask for. That's as much as I'll say. You have a role in deciding what happens next. Do the right thing, Envoy. Let history remember you for the correct reasons.
Giata, where have you been?
Where haven't I been? I journeyed to the heart of the living lands, where time held its breath, and dreams had more substance than reality.
Envoy, I knew you'd show up eventually.
How is Emerald Stair? More importantly, how are you?
Thriving on both counts, I'm happy to report. My revenants were just getting comfortable in Thirdborn when the Steel Garrote stepped out of line. When I heard tensions were brewing, I thought to myself, this is a job for the undead. So I gathered the flock. Likewise. I'll keep them on a tight leash, just in case the Steel Garrote breach our defenses. Better to have them and not need them. Oh, and I've been meaning to thank you. Whatever you did in the garden seems to have worked. Emerald Stair is healing, believe it or not. Once this is over, our crops will flourish like never before. Easier said than done, I suppose. Best of luck out there. And don't worry about a thing. My flock will keep us safe and secure.
Thank you, Elia. My compliments to the flock, as always. What a mess.
We know you. Did you help us? We must have seen you in a dream.
Do you think it's over? Spirit?
We see clearly now. The clouds part and the sun shines. Was this you?
How's Casagrada?
As prepared as he'll ever be.
Nobody's taking Paradis today. Not on my watch.
They won't reach us. I'll shoot as soon as I see the whites of their eyes.
If I go first and distract them... Oh, this is a bad idea.
If you're wounded, find a place to lie down. Someone will get to you before you bleed out. If I seem distracted, I apologize. I'm tending to the fallen, as you can see. Believe it or not, we have more than enough supplies. The Clavager knew this day might come. Unfortunately, my hands are full with the dying and the dead, and there's too many of both. If I don't get any sleep, I might be the next casualty. I suppose I've earned a couple of winks. You look like you could use a few. The next time we see each other, I just hope the fighting's done.
You're not doing anyone any good if you're too tired to think. Get some rest.
Beyond.
As soon as my gun's cleaned, I'll get out there.
I don't want to go to Yezba. Sure will miss that oasis, though.
Envoy, how did you... I don't know.
It's great to see you again, but where the fuck did you come from?
You just appeared out of nowhere.
Close enough.
Once word about Paradis reached us, we were allowed to go.
That's not important right now, Radut.
Right. Forgive me, Envoy. I won't keep you long. I just want to make one request while you're here. As much as you can, be good to the living lands.
Don't let Adir fuck us over, is what he means.
More or less. I'd just like for us to live lives that are free, for us, not Adir to determine our fates. It's going to be up to you, Envoy. I know you have much to do, so I'll just leave you with that. Thank you.
The time for standing by is over. Trust your comrades, and you will lead each other to victory.
Envoy, didn't think I'd be seeing you again. From one battlefield to another, eh? Dream thralls, and now this. Ludwig's a loose cannon, and the Steel Garrote don't answer to anyone but her. This place won't be safe for adherents for decades, even if she wins. Gods help us all.
Wow. Feels like everyone's here now. I'm starting to suspect that every single leader in the Living Lands is incompetent. Truly, is there no vetting process? Hopefully those in Solace Keep will choose their leaders with more care in the future. But we should check on Marius. I'll make him some soothing perfume, but I think a few words from you would help too. Lovely. Another point in your favor, Envoy. I do not envy the Pargrunen in any case. Meeting that council gave me a new appreciation for Vidaru. Barrett's balls. What a nightmare. We're losing focus on the important things. Things like the garden. Oh, come on, Envoy, let's get going. How can I help, darling? Oh, just wonderful. My home was attacked on the order of a woman without a heart or any other major organs. Then everything that happened in Shatterscarp and Ringrim's offer. I even found out that I was a kitten in a past life. I've been so lucky. My life right now is, well, it's wonderful. But there's always been something missing. And it gives me this kind of jittery feeling that makes my fur stand on end. Does that make sense? A little. We've spoken a bit about my, shall we say, restlessness. But I've not had a chance to tell him about Ringrim's offer yet. Or the ghost talk. Quilici will be supportive, of course. He's wonderful like that. It's just hard to ignore these thoughts with everything happening. Not that I didn't have options before, of course, but now they're louder. Well, you don't become an archmage by being a wallflower. I suppose I needed a moment to rant. Thank you, Envoy. I appreciate you lending an ear. I'll leave you to your vices for now.
Hey, Giada. How are you holding up?
We really must. Careful what you wish for, darling. So they are. You sound certain. Is this something Sabadal told you? Well, they would have been there, wouldn't they? That means I was right. Well, was there ever any doubt? The Godless are so singular. Their art and architecture, you never see it in Rawatai or Ishamatul or, well, Adir. But in their artwork, they reference escaping, fleeing, seeking refuge. So they must have come from somewhere. My guess, they originally came from Yesua. Well, don't mind if I do.
So those green people in the garden, those weren't your parents?
Envoy? Is it really you? Mihala told us you went into some place called the Garden to seek a god?
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there? The god you felt in Nokutadek?
It's too preposterous to believe. How could a plague be ended by speaking with a god?
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let them speak.
It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened?
Well, you might not believe me, but I didn't want any of this to happen.
Yes, you said that. Are we supposed to just take you at your word?
It was Ludwine who called for the attack. She and her steel garrote laid siege to the city shortly after you beat her to the garden.
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking, just to be sure.
Well, she's seen better days, but you wouldn't know it judging by how she fights.
Ludwine's run through the militia like a whirlwind.
All right, let's keep the similes to ourselves.
Oh, cheer up. You wouldn't be the first to make that mistake. Might not be the last either, depending on how things go. So long as her passion for Wodica lives, so too will her spirit.
Then we destroy her faith, and the rest of her will follow. I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it. But I think we can kill her.
Oh, good. That will be easy.
It is not, I think, impossible.
we've had no news from inside for several days. From what we can observe, southern Paradis is in pieces, and the remaining militia batters at the gates to no avail.
Is there nothing our people can do?
Given the state of our supply routes after the Dream Scourge, and the Steel Garot's destruction, we expect the people trapped inside will run short of fresh food and clean water in a matter of days.
Thirdborn still suffers from the Dream Scourge. Though you may have ended the plague, Envoy, many in Shatterscarp still are not themselves. I could bring no more than a handful when we heard.
Likewise, my wardens are still reeling from effects of the eruption. The keep was saved, but there is much to repair, particularly if we are to endure a siege. Most of my men remain at the keep. I can't risk them against the Steel Garot for the sake of Paradis, not when we are so few.
Well, that's been a point of debate. We can't agree on how to stand against the Steel Garot, nor who should lead the effort.
There are too few of us to risk an uncoordinated effort.
So you let the Paradis militia go it alone?
Even if our meager forces should make it inside, the siege won't end until Ludwig does. And none of you know how to kill her. Precisely. The lawful settlement of a new Adirian colony, supposedly. Or the establishment of a Wodekan state. She could win with a godlike in her ranks. Your presence would serve as a powerful endorsement. Somewhere inside that hollow head of hers, I believe she always hoped she'd turn you to her side. Remember, she has an obligation to Wodeka, a solemn oath. And neither the Steel Garot nor the queen that was look kindly upon oathbreakers.
Because a victory here would discourage resistance elsewhere. The better question is, why didn't you stop her?
Excuse me? She's a 7-foot-tall skeleton powered by her devotion to the goddess of retribution. This isn't my fault.
Sure. Just blame the dead woman. Very mature.
Who else should I blame exactly? Our envoy, perhaps? For not stopping Ludwig in the tusks?
You could start with blaming your own incompetence. Why are you treating him with kid gloves when Paradis cries out for help?
Enough. I've heard your concerns. We cannot change it now.
The Inquisitor was so convinced the Living Lands would unite against Adir that she's nearly made it true. One people, one law, one true God. That's Ludwig's vision for the Living Lands.
Oh, I can't wait to see how you weasel out of this one.
I know it will. We are leading by example, returning order and dignity to Paradis in the wake of the Clavager's death. We will do the same to the frontier, given the chance.
Where was order and dignity when the Steel Garot attacked my home?
My administration had nothing to do with that, as I know you know. Adirian rule and rule by the Steel Garot would be markedly different beasts.
Spoken like a fucking diplomat. Splitting hairs when it all comes from the same head.
Order and dignity. That's what you think we're missing? Bastards! All of you!
You will take it all, whether the chance is given to you or not.
What passes between Ludwig and her men, or between Ludwig and the Emperor, for that matter, is not my affair. But if I had to guess, this was the alternative.
Your empire is doing what it does best. Stamping out dissent until surrender is the only option.
Your republics are hardly any different. Their intentions in the Deadfire were certainly not pure.
As you say, we left the republics for a reason.
The Inquisitor answers only to Wodeka. In attacking Paradise, she has dragged us all far beyond the bounds of the Emperor's desires. Ludwig agrees. Our success would model the order and dignity of the Steel Garrote, for whatever that's worth.
Careful, Envoy. Adir may still have a part to play, but don't let loyalty blind you.
Oh, are we all supposed to spout patriotic Sokka now, or just these two?
I've answered your questions. Now I would like you, all of you, to answer mine. Ludwig has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements swiftly in response. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding grave room?
Ah, here we go. This is the conversation you meant to force all along.
I understand your frustration, but please, hear me out. Before you face Ludwig, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must decide, together. But whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. Adir will come. Indeed, we are already here. The Living Lands would become an extension of the Adiran Empire in leadership and law. Soldiers bearing the flag of Adir would be garrisoned in every town. They would be paid in Adiran shelling and speak only the Adiran language. Their roads would be smooth Adiran roads. Their medicine would be hygienic Adiran medicine. And their weapons would be efficient Adiran weapons. Our customs would become their customs. Our strengths would become their strengths. Our emperor would become their emperor. Turned toward a common purpose. No one, not Rawatai, not the Valian republics, not even a rogue god, would dare attack the Living Lands. This island would be safe for the first time in its history, and safe it would remain.
The traditions of Solus are what give my wardens their strength. Without them, we would buckle under the weight of the tusks. I would sooner walk my people into the acid sea than trust an Adiran to hold me up.
The only threat I see on the horizon comes from Adir itself. You want me to thank this thief for protecting me from my purse? They can't offer us anything we don't already have.
Under Adiran rule, your countrymen would strip my people of everything that makes them unique, all in the name of spiritual hygiene. I cannot betray them like that.
He would suppress our culture before it's had a chance to grow. Everything my people cultivated would be reduced to a footnote. If you have any love for this land, do not allow him to overwrite our history.
Rawatai built its empire from colonies like this. Many have become centers of culture and prosperity, backed by the protection of a strong navy. Of course, it can take decades to get there, and this road isn't an easy one. But Adir won't be the only empire eyeing this place. A formal agreement now could protect us from something worse later.
It shall be peaceful in that all dissenters will be silenced. So there's that.
The Living Lands is a lot of things, but it will never be Adir, no matter how hard Adir wants it to be. Adir should turn back now and save everyone a bunch of blessed trouble.
The Adir's promise. Flip our feathers as we find our wings. The deed binds as the wire binds. To drown us, why were we set free?
Of course. The Living Lands would retain its own laws under a grave appointed by the Emperor. The grave would be expected to promote and develop the Living Lands to our mutual benefit. They would divide the island into administrative districts and see them governed by mayors appointed from the local communities. The island would provide tribute in the form of resources and taxes, and in times of war, soldiers. The Empire, I should note, is nearly always at war.
In return, the Living Lands would enter Adir's sphere of influence, and should outside nations attempt to invade, we would come to the Grave Room's aid. Naturally, that would be the Emperor's decision. But I suspect he would choose you. Only the strong survive the frontier. I used to believe that was Ludwig. But you were born to rule here. Quite literally. Well, give the matter some thought. You owe that much to yourself, at least.
We give up our fighters and the wealth of our lands, and get promises in return. But we have wealth enough to give some away, if it means my wardens may return to their vigil in peace.
A grave room wouldn't be my first choice, but we're going to need a hand with all the dream thralls left in Shatterscarp. So if the Emperor's willing to pitch in, then I guess so am I.
With the Dream Scourge ended, my people can soon return to Fior. If a renewed animancy could easily feed the island, I suppose we could send Adir what's left. But when lean times come, who will we feed first? Ourselves or the Empire?
Tribute, he says. Taxes. Soldiers. The Empire has tried it all before. Look to the Eastern Reach if you don't believe me. They want to bleed us dry, to fill their coffers and fight their wars, to break us like wild animals. But I will not bend.
It's still a gamble, but I think it's the safest bet. We get the benefits of Imperial trade and protection without losing all of what makes this place special. There's no way of knowing what it would mean in another generation or two. But right now, it gives us the security and stability to recover.
We were fine before Adir showed up, and we'll be fine when they're gone. Trust the lands and her people, Envoy.
If we give Adir power over us, we can't be surprised if they decide to flex it later.
Subtle, pernicious, touch the rot, yet the disease remains. Safety among spiders. A web gleaming with dew. They weave, they wait.
Of course.
Great question.
You have seen more of this land, and met more of its people than any of us. Your opinion is informed. You were empowered by the Emperor himself to investigate an impossible problem. And against the odds, you solved it. And as far as we know, you are the last godlike in the world, and the favored child of a mysterious god. And in our dealings together, I found you to be a person of substance and conviction. But mostly, it's because you're Adiran, so I trust you. And these fine people here are going to do whatever they like if they don't agree with you anyway. Oh, Envoy, no. Do not suggest that lightly. Think of the Emperor. There would be reprisals. Ones which this conclave could not survive, fractured as you are. Not unless you came together and formed a nation of your own. It would be difficult. No, impossible. I'm certain you would fail. Think of your people, all of you. Think of the lives at stake.
Though I'm hardly eager to work with any of you, I like the idea of twisting beneath Adir's boot heel even less. So long as the Wardens can continue our vigil, I'm open to uniting, if you are.
Thirdborn alone couldn't stand against the storm, but the might of all of us, together, we could deter any but the most fearsome adversaries. And that's what cannons are for.
With the Envoy's support, we'd have a god in our pocket. What could the Empire do to stop us? When my people return to Fior, we could create such miracles of animancy, the Living Lands would become the breadbasket of the world.
We deserve our autonomy, even if we must fight for it. Anything less would be surrender.
Fleeing someone else's laws and authority is one thing, setting up your own is another. We're an island of misfits and dissidents. We'll still have to surrender some of our autonomy, and we won't agree on what that means overnight. We'll be vulnerable. Without allies, other powers will see us as ripe for the picking. Know that this is a hard road to walk.
We were fine before Adir came. We'll be fine when they're gone.
I think we ran things perfectly fine before your kin got here.
Rest into bounty. Does the winter frost dissuade the seeds? Many fruits on our boughs. We graft many leaves into strength.
Well, let's not twiddle our thumbs while Paradis burns. A fine compromise.
So long as my wardens are left in peace, we will endure a grave room.
Thirdborn will support a grave room, unless the Empire inspires us to change our minds.
A grave room, then, if we must. And, God's willing, Fjord will feed the world.
I do not trust your empire to show restraint in its control of the living lands. Gods help us.
We can worry about the future when it comes. This at least gives us the backing to survive and rebuild.
Right. Might as well go ahead and start designing those rebel flags sooner rather than later.
Good. We'll have perhaps a whole week of peace before the yoke starts chafing.
I will do my level best to convince the Emperor to accept a grave room. That leaves the matter of Ludwine and the Steel Garrote. She will never surrender, Envoy. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradis, and eventually the island.
Whatever happens to the living lands, at least I can kill Ludwine. I'll take that over nothing.
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy. One last time.
Let's get to work then. We've got a walking corpse to bury.
The Paradis militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter. The future waits for you.
Thank you for deserving it. Now, go and teach the Steel Garrote a lesson they will never forget.
Show them that the living lands will not be broken across Vodka's knee.
We will send reinforcements to help you reclaim the Eastern Gate. From there, work your way to the main plaza. May all the gods of Eora and the living lands protect you.
Let's take back the city. Whatever happens tomorrow, the Steel Garrote can only make it worse.
Time to stop the Steel Garrote. Lead the way, Envoy.
So we're going after the Steel Garrote now, right? Let's do it.
Can't sleep? Neither can I. We're going into battle for the soul of the living lands, rallying under the banners of the Paradis militia. Your Emperor will not be pleased. Political influence is dangerous. If you aren't careful, it can turn against you. When a godlike fights in battle, people take note of which side. The Adirans will doubt your loyalty. The locals will doubt your commitment. You may even doubt yourself. This is the first time you were told to pick a side. And I fear it won't be the last. This conflict has really pulled you apart. Worse, it's put your soul at risk.
From what I understand, your ambassador is very persuasive, very powerful, and very accustomed to getting his way. For a politician like him, losing a battle is not a defeat. It's an opportunity. When he promises you the world, don't listen. He'll fill your head with lies if you let him. I'm glad we understand each other. It's good to see you fighting for the misfits and rabble-rousers. Time for you to get some rest. We have a big day ahead of us. In truth, I'm not as worried as I used to be. I've been thinking about the Inquisitor. Formulating a theory, you might say. A Death Guard clings to their existence by force of will. Stubbornness, unfinished business, that sort of thing. Ludwig is held together by faith, and that may be her undoing. If only it were that simple. Faith is the foundation of her reality. Faith in the righteousness of the gods. But according to her faith, Sapadal should not exist. A new god independent of hers? Blasphemy. By that logic, you shouldn't exist either. And yet here you are. By staying alive, of course. You are the godlike of a heretical god. A contradiction to her reality. Can you imagine how much she needs you to die? Her entire worldview depends on it. Who knows? Maybe that uncertainty is enough to make her mortal again. Or maybe not. I'm just theorizing as I go. Whatever happens, I want to see it for myself. For the research. Is it really that obvious? No matter who wins or loses, the living lands won't be the same. In my heart, I know that's a good thing. Life is impossible without change. And change can be frightening. I just want to put this behind us. I want it to be over. When I agreed to travel with you, I didn't think I'd find myself at the center of a political upheaval. And now the Living Lands is dependent on the Empire's generosity. Generosity which can be given and taken away. We're free to make our own laws until our Adiran masters revoke them. We're free to thrive until our taxes finance your next war, with our people padding the front lines. We're free until we're not. At the end of the day, I don't trust the Empire to show restraint with the Living Lands. They've done nothing to earn it. I know you do. Thanks for talking. I can't wait to give the Steel Garrote.
You should get some sleep. Big day coming up. Makes sense. It's a lot to think about. I've been in a lot of dangerous situations, but it's always been a fight to survive. It's just a fight. Putting my life on the line for someone else's cause. It's the opposite of survival. It's foolishness. You helped me through some rough Saka, Envoy. Your cause became my cause at that point. We're about to go out there and risk our lives for, what? A concept of how things ought to be? We might die, all to determine who sleeps in the nicest house in Paradise until the island decides it's time for a change. It's fine. Really. But it's some blessed day Saka when you think about it. Right. Careful you don't get stuck in all that sap. I'll be all right, Envoy. You go get some blessed day rest.
After everything we've been through, I won't let you down.
Well, here we are. We're doing this. We're fighting your people. Are you okay? No doubts or second thoughts? Really? You're better than me, dearie. Thinking back on all we've done, it's impressive, don't you think? We went to the garden, a prison untouched by time. We both learned the truth about our Akedan origins. Oh dear. Do you think we knew each other in our past lives? Sometimes I can't even talk to you. And that's skipping to the end. I mean, think of all we've done. You saved Fjord from the clutches of the Steel Garrote. I wish I could have seen the look on Ludwine's face at that. What's left of her face, I mean. And though I may mourn the loss of Nakukubel, I can't deny that Thirdborn is safe now. Who would have thought I'd be here, fighting with an Adiran? Oh, I suppose I can work with that. Truly, thank you. I'm forever changed for our time together. As weird as you are, Envoy, I'm glad we're here, now, ready to save the living lands. Well, let's go kill that dead woman. How can I help, darling? Tired already, Envoy?
Slow you down.
Come on, man.
It's all right. You're a better soldier than I ever was.
Let the worst come. I am ready.
Found you. You're gonna regret
You shouldn't
this.
be here.
We make a good squad.
Let's go.
On
your right. I'm with you. Behind
Your reputation is well deserved.
Take your best shot.
Nice shot!
Watch your back!
Run while you can.
The eastern gate is ours. I'll stay here. You watch out for Ludwig.
Everybody all right?
Next one's mine.
Found you.
Envoy! I doubted I'd ever see you again. I imagine I could guess what brings you back to Paradis. It seems so long ago that I asked you to track down some luminous Adra for my experiment. I do sometimes wonder how my life would be different had you come to me with the Adra you found. I'm sure you had your reasons for giving it to someone else. No doubt their plans were as philanthropic as mine. All is forgiven. That ship has sailed. Literally, in this case. I doubt I'll ever have as good a chance again. I hold you no ill will, Envoy. I do wish you the best.
We should go now, while the fighting's died down.
To go against your own emperor. You can...
She's right. We can't go now. Then when? Envoy, am I ever
Why did I leave Valia? Why?
One for you! Come and get me.
exactly do you think you're doing?
Liviana, don't you ever take a break?
You nearly died in my clinic. Correction, you did die. And now look at you, fighting the Steel Garrote. What have you got to say for yourself? Well, at least you're alive. Try and keep it that way. Kai, is this your doing?
Come on. I couldn't have kept him out of the action if I wanted to.
I knew you were a bad influence. We're patching up folks as best we can, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. War is a damn bloody mess. Yeah, stop the fighting. I can't say I approve of you leaping into the fray, but it's always nice catching up with a former patient. Gods be with you, Envoy. For my sake, try not to die a second time.
Come on. You know this. You prep.
Is gonna need you when the dust settles.
Come on. Tight, but not too tight. You don't want to cut off the blood.
Envoy, it's good to see you fighting on the right side of history. Out of curiosity, what turned you against the Steel Garrote? It takes courage to stand against those fanatics. You know the Steel Garrote a lot better than we do. Their coordination is damn impressive. Any advice? I'll send it down the line. Ready to make history whenever you are.
Good. We'll need them when the time comes.
Godlike. Paradis could use your help.
That'll teach you!
Another win. Freedom! Who's counting?
So, you came around to our side. Guess Kai's rubbing off on you.
Wodaka demands your submission. Stand against her and fall.
Get ready. The skeleton lady's up ahead.
Lead on. I'm with you to the end.
This is it, Envoy. The only part that matters.
There you are. Envoy. So, you survived the garden. Did you come all this way just to try your luck again? To kill me more efficiently than last time? Good. The battle over the Living Lands is nothing compared to the war we share. Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed. Order is meant to be imposed by a stern, guiding hand.
Her order wields sharp steel. She must set down her blade.
Oh, but it is. Some wounds must be cauterized in order to heal.
Cauterized? Your troops have nearly burned Paradis to the ground.
The only question is, what's to be done with you? You, who were once so bright and promising. Sapadal's chains are broken, which means your soul is in their grasp. I don't know how deeply you've been compromised, Envoy. And if I don't know, then I cannot suffer you to live. Judgment has been passed. Now comes the sentence. Steel yourself, Envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death.
We would not welcome her death. There is still ample shade for her beneath our tree.
Really, Envoy? You think the delusional theories of a failed animancer are enough to scare me? Then allow me to teach you the meaning of fear.
Famous last words.
Let's finish this. Together.
Once I'm done killing you, your god of... Wodaka! Queen among queens! Send me your aid!
The mighty Inquisitor sounds...
Again! Help me! What? Last time! Was it wrong? Grow up!
Behind you!
Was it wrong?
Nice strike!
Monica! Where are you? No! Don't abandon me now!
That's it, Envoy! This is it! We're giving up on... Now's the time!
Wherever Ludwig is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done for. But we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together.
Guys, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Silence falls over Paradis, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Paradis militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The Dream Scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. With your guidance, the Living Lands becomes a vassal of the Adiran Empire. In exchange for their taxes and soldiers, the free settlements are protected from future attacks. The fight for survival is over. You showed the rebels of Paradis mercy, but they can never trust the Empire. Instead, they keep to the wilderness, always 2 steps ahead of Adir, only attacking when provoked. That is as close as they come to peace. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. In time, the people of Emerald Stair return to their city of Fior Messiverno. Animancy still has a place in the Living Lands, but the Empire's disapproval gets in the way of progress. Their work is slow, but unstoppable. After so much chaos, the people of Shatterscarp find a moment to breathe. As a gesture of goodwill to its grave room, Adir sends a regiment to purge the remaining dream thralls still haunting the wilderness. But with the sound of Adiran cannons in the air, many Thirdborners wonder what their lives will look like when there is no longer a common enemy. After the Living Lands is declared a vassal of Adir, Solace Keep reluctantly opens the doors of its fortress, though not before numerous missives are sent to Mihala demanding the grave room be honored. Her reluctance costs the dwarves. The Pargrunen are never favored in trade negotiations, and are the last to be supplied by Adiran caravans. But the Wardens have rounder bellies than anyone can remember. For the first time in many years, Kai feels an agreeable restlessness. Not to flee, not to drift, but to venture. He visits the distant shores Tama told him about, and savors the modern marvels, ancient wonders, and breathtaking expanses he beholds. His heart swells, not with grief, but with awe. There is so much to discover, and he will spend his years chasing all of the joy and beauty the world has to offer him. With his travels alongside the envoy complete, Marius is left directionless once again. Rather than disappearing into his cups, however, Marius leans on his time among his companions, to give him the strength to re-enter society and find comfort in civilization. He establishes a route between Paradise and Thirdborn, guiding travelers between the two in return for money and supplies. And while he has a reputation for being aloof, he joins the campfires from time to time, sharing stories of his time with the envoy that most travelers believe are completely made up. Giada continues to improve as an animancer. She dedicates her work to the spiritual health of the living lands, nurturing instead of exploiting. Others follow her example, seeking her tutelage from lands far and wide. In the years to come, rumors spread of a secret society gathering in the wilderness, where animancers work in harmony with nature. The dream of Fior Mes Iverno lives on in her. No longer under the threat of imminent death, Yardsley returns to the Animancers. Reunited with her beloved Quilici, she helps him and the Animancers as they put their lives together after the attack on Fior Mes Iverno. Eventually, she even has something nice to say to Vidaro. As the days pass in contentment and relative peace, Yardsley is struck by the persistent feeling that something is missing. Though she still devotes herself to her studies of both the arcane and the godless, the restlessness never goes away. Freed from torment for the first time in centuries, Sopadal turns their prodigious curiosity to the people that shaped them. They observe the ways their people live, and they think deeply about what they see. Though they flinch away from moments of violence, and they grieve souls returned to them too soon, the rage that once shook cities to rubble no longer rules them. Instead, they come to you with questions. They want to understand. After a time, they begin tentatively to garden. Where they can, they improve the lives of Kith, and the suffering that troubled them is reduced, if never fully eradicated. Their grief compels them to love, and they love unreservedly, with the power of a god. Sopadal has questions about what happens tomorrow, and the day after. You do your best to keep them calm, until the voice in your head is little more than a polite whisper. After everything you've been through, you don't mind the company. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.